Is my camera working? Okay, there we go. Hi, my name is Samantha Ervin. Today is March 23rd, 2026, and I will discuss the difference between legal and ethical obligations. When it comes to legal obligations, I see them as rules that is put in place by the government. For individuals like you and me, it's to help maintain orders and protect others. Those laws are request to you. Those laws are request or require us to communicate responsible and obey regulations when interacting with others. For example, spreading false information about someone who can lead spreading false information about someone can lead to defamation, which can harm a person's reputation. In some cases, communications that include threats, interactions of violence, it can also violate the law. Legal obligations are enforceable, meaning that if they are broken, they can cause consequences such as fine or legal actions. So when it comes to the legal obligations, we are responsible ourselves to make sure that we are following those guidelines. If we don't follow those guidelines, like I stated in my last statement, consequences can happen, which can lead up to either a person self-harming themselves, legal fees, legal actions. A person can get also sentenced to jail time for not following those legal actions. That's the reason why the government makes sure that we have those in place. A lot of times, for example, like when I watch the presidency candidate and how a presidency are up for running for election, they actually um, make false allegations against the other party, which put them in a place where they may not even to get like the votes from the citizens of the American people, or either it could harm their reputation. So that's what the legal obligations is placed for people who are up for either running for some kind of position, either on a job for presidency, um, or just life in total. So a lot of times, like when we watch celebrities where they name get I was gonna say defunded, not defunded, but defamation as well. And then like the with ethical, when ethical to me, I see it as being honest, respectful, and it was another one. Let me pull up my documentation. With the ethical obligations, like I said, it is being honest, fairness, respectful, and so on. And a lot of times, ethical obligations are mostly used. Well, that's going to be in life general, but ethical obligations is used on the job, talking to someone, um, and making sure that you are listening. The morals of the responsibility is when a person is speaking and when they communicating, you want to make sure that you're not speaking over them, or you're not using foul language. You want to see their point of view, and avoid using any kind of harsh language, or even manipulating a person. You want to always make sure that you're being respectful when you're speaking to someone. A lot of times we use ethical is on the workplace, in the job, in school, or even just outside when you at out having fun. You also want to use be ethical, because a lot of times people don't know the actual full term of ethical and being dishonest. Or for example, I'm gonna put it like this. Okay, so if a person like myself, if I'm driving down the road and I get stopped by the police, and um I'm driving, and the first thing I ask, well, when the police ask me for my information, I say, oh, so what did I do? He said, oh, well, you was driving 65 in the 55 zone. And I said, well, no, sir, I'm driving the speed limit. And he said, well, I clocked you going at this speed limit. So then I start lying and say, no, I was going 55 and I know that I was going 65. So I'm gonna stop myself because I'm saying, okay, well, I'm not being ethical with the police officer because I'm not being honest. And I feel that he's not being fair because he's saying something different versus like if I tell the truth and be honest and say, okay, yes, I'm sorry, I apologize. I was going 65 instead of 50. But I said that because I didn't want to get a ticket. So with that being said, was I being ethical? No, I wasn't. Because the fact that one, I lied. And then two, I told him I don't want the ticket. So that's the reason why I fabricated and say, well, um, I wasn't going 55. So that's one of the examples that I could use or as a example for ethical. But yes, to me, ethical is taking a responsibility as a civilian and speaking and having that the ethical obligations, including telling the truth, using accurate and reliable information. Which when I said in in my example, I wasn't using the I wasn't telling the truth. But to me, that's what ethical obligations is considered, is making sure that we are being truthful and honest to other people. So thank you. I hope you like my video. Sorry that it was long. Have a good one.